Hello and welcome to Let's Play Blue Stinger. I'm Inch'Du and today with me is...
Joe again. Hi there, everyone.
And today we're going to be finishing up the freezer. We just have to get on through and just get out. But first, let's go back and talk about some of the mechanics that I didn't talk too much about last time. When we first got into the freezer, it was set to deep freeze mode and all the doors were frozen.
Remember Elliot tried to touch some of those doors and just got so disappointed in them being closed and all.
Yeah, and so he got the invert key, and with the invert key he was able to set it to hot mode expressly, and then we went back here to save. Now, we could leave the invert key in and just leave the freezer that way, but there's another way of doing things. If we go back there and if we take out the invert key, it allows us to use that information with the ranges of numbers. So we're gonna specify it to freezing mode, which isn't like deep freezing mode because we don't need any sort of apparatus to keep us alive like the heater, and we don't need to rush on through because we're going to overheat.
I'm trying to remember exactly what's going on with the heater, because I remember there was this big complex, like you're in the cold room now, you're in a hot room. It's honestly a little bit hard to follow.
It kind of is. The best bet is to just rush through and try not to die. I mean, I have set myself as Elliot, and if I weren't Elliot as full health, then some of these sections would be near impossible to get through without taking damage because dogs move slower than Elliot, and on top of that, he's more prone to get hit with his slow self.
I honestly didn't know that. I really just thought it was sort of a moveset difference between the two of them. And now you're in a green room.
Yes, these tiles are like mood rings, evidently. The temperature makes them change color, and green means freezing, but not quite freezing enough to make ice.
Green means the room is in love.
It means go. Follow your heart.
It means you won the jackpot, buddy.
And so, if we were to go back and reset the freezer to deep freezing mode, even though we melted the ice off the doors, it's somehow going to refreeze. There's moisture somewhere on those doors.
Oh, so it's sort of like if it's in deep freeze, you can't go in there. If it's in hot and moderate, you're okay to go, though?
Yeah, so we're going to go through and try and do this on the middle mode, but first we're going to stare at this purple dude.
Look at him.
And I'm kind of just wasting off a lot of shotgun shells here because this is a really tight corridor and I really don't want to be stuck up in it.
Oh, dude, wasn't that guy down before?
Yeah, they get knocked down and then they get back up and then they trick you.
No, I mean, you walked in the room and he was down. Oh, okay, I guess he was just tricking you then.
Yeah, the purple shirts are the only ones that I think try and trick you by laying down and playing dead. Yeah, this room starts with one purple shirt laying down, and then one purple shirt down the way. And so we set this to freezing mode, and we're just gonna head on through here as dogs.
Dogs time.
With our unlimited sumo.
We're actually at 80% sumo.
Oh.
That green meter is not all the way full, buddy.
Well, we gotta charge our sumo.
You will never reach full sumo capacity. This
freezer only stores ice blocks. That's it.
And this is a room you can't change the temperature of at all, or?
Well, this is the room that is dependent upon our temperature. There's two different ways of doing this. This is the one, and it's just a giant room full of ice blocks. There's not a whole lot of ice blocks around, mind you.
Yeah, I've only seen a few here and there. Maybe there's storing ice isn't something people really need to do around here.
Look at Dog Shimmy. So here is an item that we can't quite get to. Right up here.
An ice block.
That shiny. It seems inaccessible because if you climb on top of that ice block, you can climb on top of the other ice block, and you'd think you'd be able to walk over that corner and just grab it there, but that's a no-go. It's actually a secret block pushing puzzle.
They always gotta hide one of them in these ice temples.
And somehow somebody's card key got up here for the meat room. Also this giant ice block.
It's a mnemonic device the guy uses. It's like frozen meat, put the key in the frozen room. It's just how he remembers things.
And here we're going to have a sumo tournament with a hunk of meat.
Oh my god. That really just happened.
And it's gonna happen again.
Oh my god.
Oh baby. So that's the one way to do it.
Why watch EVO when you have the Street Fighter tournament right here?
Seriously. So that's the one way to do it. Or you could just go on through as with the temperature up high.
And the meat is just already thawed, cooking, and ready to be served.
It's just a stack of burgers when you're over there.
Oh, that's where all those burgers are.
Yeah. Those ice cubes were just a decoy. They actually just store burgers. And this next room that I went through with relative ease before is now increasingly difficult because I have my temperature gauge halfway through already. And I get my shit slapped.
It honestly looks the same as it did before. I mean, it's just
It's a little bit tougher because of the thermal time limit. My thermal gauge was almost complete.
Oh, right.
And so we did this last time as dogs, so let's go ahead and do it again.
You go first. I can't fight and swim at the same time.
Oh, he can't fight and swim at the same time? Who can't do that?
You can't stroke and sumo. That's just asking too much. He's not very buoyant, believe it or not.
I would have believed otherwise.
So, he says he can't fight and swim at the same time, but Elliot can't fight and swim at the same time either. He can hardly breathe and swim at the same time. Our temperature gauge has become an oxygen gauge, and if our oxygen gauge depletes, then we are entirely out of luck, and we almost drown instantly.
Is the temperature gauge still present even though we can't see it, or...?
No, it's only present in certain rooms. Also, there's a surprise fish in here, so...
Yeah, I just saw a little cloud of blood there.
If you can kill that fish, if you lure it all the way back to the beginning's ramp and fire off shots at it.
You can kill the fish if only you could swim and fight at the same time.
If only we had the foresight to bring our harpoon gun.
If only dogs just wasn't so lazy.
So this section can really get you because there are only a couple like real sections where you can stop and breathe for air because of this grading. Elliot just can't turn upside down and breathe. That would be way too difficult for him.
Yeah, is there any particular reason that he's just staying so close to the surface? Like, can he not dive?
You can dive down, but that is a very dangerous thing to do because you don't resurface fast.
Oh.
And that block pushing puzzle is just not for Elliot. He just does not trust blocks, so he has to get his napalm gun out. And we cannot switch to dogs because he can't get over here.
So he just flat out didn't want to follow.
He just denied it. Also, this.
Oh, whoa.
Yep.
It suddenly makes sense to me. He's not saying fight and swim. He's saying fight and then swim and then fight.
He's just saying swim and die. So that I kept that in just to show that the boss does about half your health in one charge, and also why I am being extremely paranoid right now.
Okay. This is kind of exciting. It's the thrill of the hunt.
He knows I'm coming. He's just staring at me. That's what was inside of the giant ice cube there. And after you get past his original charging at you, he's almost harmless so long as you have the napalm gun.
He is standing right next to you.
He actually charged right into me, except I was in the middle of my napalm firing phase, so he never really did any damage.
I don't know, man. I feel like you're making this look easy.
It's blind luck. Sometimes this game is extremely brutal, and sometimes you just get on through. But I think this boss also has 2 firing points, one in the front and one in the back, which is why I missed a shot earlier. Either that or I was unlucky and was not facing the correct direction.
The bull just flat out gave you time to reload. He just walked right up to you, saw you were busy, and gave you a minute.
She's a very polite bull.
And that's no bull.
It's a bull stinger. And he had the meat room key. Who would have thought?
Meat room key? He's trying to rescue his brothers.
The ice melted, and he saw the key. It was a shiny object, and he ate it.
All these bosses are carrying keys on them.
I don't know how they get them.
Basic gameplay elements?
Meat pinata.
Meet the pinata.
Wonderful. I just wanna emphasize something. You recall all the ice that we saw before, right?
Swing and a miss. Yeah, I do.
How does all that ice, which consumes more space than water, how does all that ice make that much water?
Blue Stinger.
I understand everything now.
Dogs is with us again.
Yes, we can switch back to dogs if we wanted to, but
I just saw him in the menu.
well, he's there. So that's just about it for this episode. So thanks for watching.